Okay, so about 5 minutes ago, according to 6 minutes ago actually, this is off the Pro Wrestling Network Facebook page. And one of the, I guess you could say, administrators there came out and said this. And let me read this to you. This was posted 6 minutes ago. Right now it's 8 a.m. in the morning. I got to get myself ready for work in a little while, or a little bit. But I wanted to get this out of the way before I do. But this is what they said about 7 minutes ago now. And I quote, this is from Pro Wrestling Network Facebook page. And one of the administrators, and this is what they say, and I quote, "The whole HBO WarnerMedia Discovery stuff has brought up a lot of questions when it comes to what the company will do with AEW. Some have said that, okay, let me read that. Let me get some coffee, nearly lost track there. Okay, let me reread that. This is from one of the administrators at the Pro Wrestling Network Facebook page, and I quote, "This whole HBO WarnerMedia Discovery stuff has brought up a lot of questions when it comes to what the company will do with AEW. Some have said there could be issues as Warner has already canceled a Batgirl movie they paid like $72 million, well almost $90 million, for, and this would prove that nothing is safe regardless of how much money or ratings it brings in. Plus, with HBO Max merging with Discovery as far as streaming goes, some people have already said the writing's on the wall. I've also seen people say AEW is safe because it's considered sports-based programming like NHL or NBA. With how 2022 has already gone, anything is possible by this point, and I definitely wouldn't be surprised if this is another bizarre thing that happens to the list. At the most, I do feel like this is all pretty much a wait-and-see issue, though it would suck to finally have another wrestling company on national TV, only for it to get canceled just because the same network suddenly decided they didn't find wrestling profitable again. I do feel like the issue wouldn't be getting canceled." Okay, let me read that. The final part is, "I do not feel like the issue wouldn't be getting canceled. It would be, they kind of reword this. Alright. Let me reread this final part. They say, and I quote, "I do feel like the issue wouldn't be getting canceled. It'd be not getting as much when they renew the TV deal, especially if it seems like money is an issue for WarnerMedia." So, let me reread that whole thing, hopefully without interruption. Let me reread this thing. And it says, and I quote, "This whole HBO WarnerMedia Discovery stuff has brought up a lot of questions when it comes to what the company will do with AEW. Some have said there could be issues as Warner has already canceled a Batgirl movie they paid like $72 to $90 million for, and this would prove that nothing is safe regardless of how much money or ratings it brings in. Plus, with HBO Max merging with Discovery as far as a streaming service goes, some people have already said the writing's on the wall. I've also seen people say AEW is safe because it's considered sports-based programming like NHL or NBA. With how 2022 has already gone, anything is possible by this point, and I definitely wouldn't be surprised if this is another bizarre thing that happens to the list. At the most, I do feel like this is all pretty much a wait-and-see issue, though it would suck to finally have another wrestling company on national TV, only for it to get canceled just because the same network suddenly decided they didn't find wrestling profitable again. I do feel like the issue wouldn't be getting canceled, it'd be not getting as much when they renew their TV deal, especially if it seems like money is an issue for WarnerMedia." So what the administrator is saying there in this post that they posted basically about 10 minutes ago now, since it's 8:04, almost 8:05 in the morning, what they're saying there is, with the sudden shock of basically out of nowhere of the cancellation of two nearly completed films that combined cost $150 million to make, being canned, being shelved indefinitely. What he's looking at here is he would not put it past David Zaslav or WB Discovery to say, AEW, you're great and everything, but we can't keep you after your contract's out. Or AEW, you're great, but we only need one show. You need to get rid of one of the others. And or your Battle of the Belts are not viewable. Your quarterly specials, the Battle of the Belts, like they got coming this weekend, are not profitable or viewable. You either need to have them go live or not do them at all. And that's what he's looking at. He's looking at the fact that AEW could be on the list of things that are going to get canceled or things that are going to have to, change their structure. Like Rampage, because it's not pulling in the ratings it's supposed to, even at 1 hour, is either going to have to go 2 hours, as like a lot of people have suggested it does, or what it's going to have to do is just cancel the show entirely. And, something like the Battle of the Belts quarterly specials, they may either have to decide, okay, how do we fix this? And one of the ways they could fix it is just go completely live or just cancel the entire thing. And when I read this, I understand the logic, because, we all thought we were getting a Batgirl movie. We all thought we were getting a prequel sequel to the SCOOB movie, and look what's happened. Heck, whether you like the animated preschool show or not on Ellen DeGeneres, Little Ellen, guess what? The whole 3rd season's complete. It might get picked up by another streaming service down the line, but Warner Discovery said, nah, we want nothing to do with this anymore, and they shelved that. The point is, nothing, right now, as I said in the previous video, what David Zaslav is doing is he's hitting the soft reset button. He's hitting the soft reboot reset button, and he wants to basically start, over again, in a sense, by having a multi-year, maybe 4 to 6 year structured plan of, okay, here's how we start off at point A, and here's how we're going to finish at point B within the next several years. He wants to have a straight, narrow plan for all the divisions, all the media, programming, movies, and all that are under the WBD banner. And that includes AEW and potentially Ring of Honor as well. So, so I can understand the concern this person's coming up with. I really can. And I'm sure anybody else that watches this or reads this can understand the concern. I mean, 2022 is one of those years where you don't expect, anything, to happen, but then it does. It's like that one line in the original Tiny Toons intro, expect the unexpected. That's what 2022 has been. I mean, who would have thought Disney Plus would now start showing mature rated programming or R-rated movies and all that, despite the backlash it's getting? Nobody would have expected that, but yet here it is. Go into Disney Plus, go to your settings that, make sure kids don't watch certain programming, but you can. There's Deadpool and Deadpool 2. You wait a couple of years, all of a sudden, here's an MA mature rated Marvel Zombies cartoon for adults. The thing is, times are definitely changing, whether people like them or they don't. And as I said, I can understand where this person's coming from, because, nobody thought David Zaslav would take his axe, the axe of Zaslav, as they would say, and go chop, right to Batgirl, or chop right to SCOOB, or chop right to Little Ellen's 3rd season. Nobody thought that was going to happen, but yet it did. It did. And it is about saving money. It is about kind of restructuring finances and all that too, especially with the recession that we're going into apparently, and tax season starting up, as I've said in a previous video, early for a lot of people like studios in the fall. Of course they're going to do what they can to save money and basically check certain things off as a tax write-off. Of course they're going to do that, so that way they get to that flat out plan structure that they have for the next several years of basically starting at point A and getting to point B. So I can understand the concern that AEW might be on that list of either being canceled after its contract's over, or potentially having to restructure themselves to where they either got to make, changes significantly to things that don't bring in the ratings, don't bring in the viewerships, like the Battle of the Belt specials or Rampage being 1 hour. It's either you make Rampage 2 hours and you make it live, its own show, like a Thunder or a SmackDown, and you either make the Battle of the Belts live or you get rid of them entirely. Same with Rampage. So, I understand the concern. I understand the concern and everything, and I'll say this, if I'm Tony Khan, even though I'm happy to be bringing in trios, 6-man titles right now, and potentially women's tag titles, I might want to hold off on that right now and focus more on what my future is going to hold in the next week. Because you can't tell me he ain't paying attention to what's happening right now. You can't tell me he's not hearing about this Batgirl movie that was nearly complete, and same with SCOOB Holiday Haunt, but mostly Batgirl, and going like, wait a minute, so he canceled that, and it was nearly complete? Oh shit. You can't tell me he's not concerned, because now he is. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out on Dynamite next week and says, you know what, guys, we're not going to do the trios titles for right now because we need to save money. I wouldn't be surprised if he does that. He probably won't, but I wouldn't be surprised. Or I won't be surprised if he shows up on Dynamite next week and says, you know what, guys, I got a big announcement. Rampage is going 2 hours, and it's going to be its own show, and it's going to go live. And that'll probably be because of what's happening. And he doesn't want a chance having to lose that secondary show. So, there's a lot that he has to, keep his eyes and ears open for. He really does. But yeah, I understand where this person's coming from, though. I mean, when suddenly out of nowhere you get Batgirl being canceled, you get SCOOB Holiday Haunt being canceled, third season of Little Ellen series, whether you like that or you don't, and anything else being potentially canceled, 6 Max original films that had a lot of money probably put behind them, maybe not as much, but enough being taken off just out of nowhere. It's like, things are changing, and instead of just letting, as I said before in the video, letting that old regime kind of just, play out, let the remnants of that play out, and then kind of starting off, or let that remnants of the old regime play out and sprinkle in your own little, things here and there, like Triple H did in the final week of the Vince regime before starting officially on Monday with his own regime. David Zaslav's like, no, I'm starting right away. We're getting rid of this, we're getting rid of that. He ain't playing around. And a lot of people do like what he's doing. Even though they're disappointed they're not going to see a Batgirl movie just yet, but I'm still positive we're going to get it. And the same with SCOOB Holiday Haunt, which I'm still positive we're going to get, because like I said in the previous video, I think we're going to get them, but they're just waiting until this recession and this tax season for them is over with, and probably within the next year, maybe 7 to 8 months, we'll hear something, and we'll hear something positive. But yeah, like I said, I get where this person's coming from. I understand the worry. I understand that fans like him are a little concerned and everything at the future of AEW, because deep down they don't want to have to resort, because what I'm trying to say is, deep down they don't want to have to resort to having to basically go back to WWE, because they don't trust WWE right now. I mean, even though it's under Triple H's helm and Stephanie's helm and Nick Khan's helm, they don't trust it fully yet, especially when you have people like Vince Russo coming out and saying the things they did, and I'll do a video on that probably later on. But yeah, I understand the concern. I really do. I understand the concern. And today is going to be a day to keep an eye on, because we don't know what's going to happen. There's rumors HBO Max will be canceled, which I don't think so. It's too profitable. There's rumors more than likely it's going to merge with Discovery Plus and have a new name, and that's going to take time, probably within the next 6, 7, 8, maybe next year or so, because they got to get people together to behind the scenes to make that happen. And things, so there's a lot we have to keep an eye out for later today. There's a lot we got to keep an eye out for. The quarterly meeting is supposed to be between like 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern, so it is something to keep an eye and ears out for when that happens, because you don't know what could happen. You don't know what announcements will be made. It's not like, as some people have described, it's not a fandom kind of like event. It's not a D23 like kind of event. It's supposed to be just like a conference call for, to report quarterly earnings and stuff, and what changes and stuff you may be making in the future to make, you know, the studio more profitable and stuff like that. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I understand people are worried about certain things going away, certain things being changed, and that's normal. You know, a lot of speculation starts to run rapid when you start seeing things like a nearly finished, completed Batgirl movie that cost $90 million to $100 million to make. When you look at a SCOOB movie that costs $40 to $50 million to make, which combines basically makes it almost $150 to $200 million together. I understand this concern. You know, there really is. And, you know, you have other projects that had the whole seasons completed and now they're canned. You know, I understand the concern and the speculation because of these announcements do run rapid. The rumors do run rapid. But as a lot of people have said, even 3C Films and others, take these rumors and stuff, these speculations with a grain of salt. Because some people just like to thrive on the negative. And I say don't listen to it. Just wait and see. You know, just wait and see. If nothing comes out today from this quarterly meeting, you know, with maybe a few announcements here and there of, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, it's just going to be a tweak kind of deal, then I think we could put those worries to rest right now, because I don't think David Zaslav's an idiot. David Zaslav looks at HBO Max, he knows he's making money off it, but what he wants to do basically is put a primary focus on what's going to make something like HBO Max even better. And if it means merging with Discovery Plus, that's great. If it means maybe saying AEW is going to go to HBO Max and a lot of their past Dynamite and Rampage shows and Ring of Honor and, you know, the Ring of Honor library that is, and, you know, and even, you know, the past pay-per-views are going to be on there to watch it anytime you want, then that's great too. But it's like this person says, it's a wait-and-see deal. It is a wait-and-see deal, but I understand the concern. I do understand the concern. So, anyway, though, guys, I just wanted to come on here, you know, give you my thoughts on that, read off what this person had to say on it. I will try to provide a link, if I can, to it. I think I can get a link maybe if I save the post. Let me see. For later on me. So, yeah, I'll try to provide a link for it, or I'll put it in the description if I can fit it in the description. You guys can read it for yourself. But let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think this administrator, moderator of the Pro Wrestling Network Facebook page has rights to be concerned? How do you feel? You know, what I'm trying to say is, okay, let me get some coffee. What I was trying to say is, do you think this person at the Pro Wrestling Network has rights to be concerned about the future of AEW, especially with all these big announcements of sudden cancellations out of nowhere of projects that were almost completed and cost so much money here and there? Do you think he's got rights to concern? Or do you think maybe he should, like a lot of people, wait and see exactly what the future holds? Let me know down below in the comments, as well as in the live chat during the premiere. Like the video. Super chats, super stickers are open during the live chat of the premiere. Super thanks afterwards. And you will also be able to listen to this on my BW Roses Discussions podcast on all your favorite audio podcast locations except for Pandora. Also check me out at patreon.com/BW Roses with a $1, $3 tier. Also check me out at Vimeo for content you can't get anywhere else at BW Roses. Also support me at Venmo at Brian-1more-2 and at Cash App at BW Roses 98. But until next time, guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think he has a right to be concerned? Do you think all wrestling fans, especially AEW fans, have a right to be concerned and worried after the announcement of Batgirl and SCOOB and, you know, Little Ellen being canceled, and the first two costing a combined $150 million in total of near completion? What are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the live chat, and I'm out.